Good morning. It's your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. Back with another Create and Relate. As you can see, I'm still dealing with my issue. Rest assured, I have been resting. I have been medicating. And I don't feel fatigued like I have the past couple of days. I don't feel the strongest, but I just don't feel, like exhausted like I did. I'm still struggling with a border on the previous Cooper blanket. I'm still deciding. It's like I want something that's like wow, but at the same time I don't want to be too drastic. Give me a moment. I don't know why I have to concentrate so hard on tying these. Done. When I first started my channel, one of the first topics I had was about the disconnect between first responders and patients. And it kind of threw me that someone commented that I didn't know what I was talking about. First of all, as having worked in the medical field, I will tell you that there is a disconnect on that end. There is a disconnect between the medical profession and patients. They're governed more by time and quantity than they are patience and quality. If they run over time with one patient and it pushes everything back, then they become stressed because they have someone they answer to. Their day ends up being longer, and that's one aspect of it. And then from the patient's perspective, a lot of us find it very difficult to articulate our situations, what we're going through, how we're feeling. But to prove the point that I was making, I do look at a lot of documentaries, and I read a lot. But there was a situation in, I believe it was May of 2021, where a 16-year-old was trapped in his SUV. He had a sporting event at a school, and his gear was in the back of the van. And instead of opening the van from the back, he climbed across the seats. In the back seat, it was a 3-row van. And as he climbed across the 3rd row, The seat tilted back into the luggage position, trapping the young man between the back door and underneath the seat. He could not move. He called for Siri on his phone to call 911. He remained calm. He gave his name, his age, where he was, the situation that he was in, and asked for assistance. The 911 dispatcher finally dispatched the patrol car. The patrol car went out, only giving him a little bit of information. The make and model of the van, and the fact that a kid said that he was trapped in the van. She did not tell the police officer that the young man said that he felt like he was going to lose his life. And that he could not reach his phone, that he was, and that he was screaming for help. She did not tell the police officer that. So as the patrol car rode through the parking lot, passing the van at least twice, he still had music pumping. He still had his windows up, and he's riding around looking at the fact that the kids are driving better cars than he is. Meanwhile, this young man is losing oxygen. The call dropped. The young man called again, and he said to the 911 dispatcher, "I have no idea I'm going to get out of this alive, so will you please tell my mom that I love her? This is not a joke. I need help. I'm in a so-and-so gold van, parked in the sophomore parking lot at XYZ school. The officer rides around again and says, I don't see anything. I didn't think I would. Music still pumping. Windows still up. 6 hours later, the father. Sorry.
We say give it a 7.
I'm so sorry.
Let's hit the road in a Mercedes.
Thank you. 6 hours later, his father goes looking for him and finds him trapped in a van, unalived. There is a disconnect between first responders and patients. If he had been totally hysterical and frantic, would the results have been any different? Because of the fact that he was calm, they didn't take it seriously. Information that should have been passed along to the police officer was not passed along. I'm just to the person who said I don't know what I'm talking about, what you need to understand first of all is that most of the time I speak from personal experience or from what I research. Number two, in situations like this, I find fault in both sides. And this is my personal opinion, and I'm allowed that. I think that there needs to be retraining. I think that there needs to be better screening when it comes to emergency responders. There is a big disconnect in the medical field and in between the medical field and patients. They are more concerned about the number of people they can see and staying to a well-constructed time period than they are working with that patient on what that patient needs. And Big Pharma has such a big part in this, where they come in and say, hey, if you get this prescription out, if you get this medication out, we might be able to look out for you a little bit. And they're like, okay, pad my pocket, I'm sorry, but they turn us into lab rats. They turn us into lab rats. And then when all of this stuff kicks back and they got all of these mass lawsuits and stuff like this, then in the fine print it's saying no regard for human life. We need to do better. On the other end of it, for those people who do misuse the services that are provided us, 911, police officers, fire and rescue, there should be harsher penalties. There should be harsher penalties. Forget a fine. Forget a misdemeanor. You're playing with people's lives. And it does make it hard for them to be able to distinguish between reality and BS because you want to play. I'm angry with both sides. I am. My heart goes out to young Mr. Plush and his family, because it didn't have to be. A lot of situations that I have seen where I live didn't have to be. I remember a situation. Probably like 10 something in the morning. A young man walked up on a man and unalived him. When it happened, not like it happened in, okay, the incident happened, and within 30 seconds a patrol car rode by, saw the victim laying in the street, assumed because he was homeless that he had just fallen or something, and kept going. Kept going. This happened in the middle of the street, across the street from houses. People come outside, see him, kept moving. So you mean to tell me you just see somebody laying in the street, cars going around him, and kept going? And it took somebody not from the neighborhood to call the police about somebody laying in the street. And I think it was like 3 or 4 hours later when they finally came. And I'm like, was there even a possibility that something could have been done if that police officer who rode by as he fell, could have even caught the assailant? I know we don't live in a perfect world, but sometimes I think the imperfections are so great and they're not being addressed properly. I just feel like in a lot of ways we as humanity are doomed. we've reached this point where the general consensus is, I don't care. It's like the most popular emoji out there is meh. What happened? What happened to humanity? Where did we go? That saddens me. Every day, I go through my meditations. I ask in my prayer that I be guided to do something, at least one thing, to make a positive difference. And some days I think that one thing is to stay indoors. I'm human and I got a bit of a mouth. I'm very opinionated and I will speak. So yeah. Sometimes it's hush up. Shh. Stay put. So these past couple of days, I have had my little personal goals, but sleep has said, I have other plans for you, and I have not run away from sleep. I will be happy when I get my voice back. Oh, yes, I will. I am not going to keep you all for long. My fellow creators, I would like to thank you for 264 subscriptions. Thank you. We're getting closer and closer. Absolutely. I'm tickled about that. I am. I'm very happy about that. I do ask that when you come in, please don't forget to ring the doorbell. And when you see that notification bell over to the side, make sure you hit the one with the dimples so that you'll always know when fresh content has been dropped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it for that one. Okay. So I have one more side. And then, and please comment. Please comment. I guess you can tell I do the negative comments too. Only thing I ask is just be respectful. You know, I'm not going to tell somebody that they don't know what they're talking about, and I don't. You know, if you beg to differ, that's fine. That's fine, and we can even have a discussion about it if you'd like. But don't, by any means, attack my intelligence. Because I wouldn't do that to you or anybody else. But, like I said, we can do opinions all day. As long as they're respectful. Always remember to love yourself. It is the greatest love of all. Because you can't give anybody else the love they deserve if you don't first give yourself the love that you deserve. Always remember that. And know that I will always love you. The good, bad, and the ugly, unconditionally. Until we meet again, hopefully it'll be a little better the next time. This time was better than the last. Let's make the next time better than this. I will see you guys soon. In the meantime, in between time,